morning, American Dreamers, or afternoon or evening, whenever you happen to be viewing this. So, sitting here in my comfy chair, chilling out. Want to make a quick video and talk to you about a couple things. The first thing is our unit on the Civil War is kind of at an end. I'm hoping that we get back so that you guys can present the rest of your projects, those of you that haven't presented. If that happens, that we don't get back, I'll figure out something. I mean, I can go in and look them over. I might have you send me your paper. That may be an assignment online one day, but we'll figure it out. I'll do something that's fair to you, so don't worry about that. I wanted to talk a little bit about the articles that I gave you to read because they're important. One article talks about the idea that the Civil War may never have ended, and in many ways that's true. When you look at the Black Lives Matter movement, you look at the current state of race relations in America, a lot of that harkens back to the Civil War. The end of the war was supposed to bring freedom and equality, and that's what Abraham Lincoln envisioned. The period after the war is called Reconstruction, literally putting the country back together, reconstructing it. But the problem was that Lincoln was assassinated. Lincoln's vision for Reconstruction included complete equality for Southern Black Americans, including giving them land, educational programs, money, ability to move, to try to level the playing field in a way that these individuals could take their rightful place in American society. Unfortunately, with Lincoln's death, a lot of that dream died. There was a short period, 8 to 10 years, of relative equality in the South, but once the old Southern kind of social institutions were left on their own, they very quickly reinstated a lot of the pieces of slavery that really mattered. Segregation, inequality, lack of voting rights, lack of ability to financially succeed for Southern blacks. Many were put into something called sharecropping, which in many ways was worse than slavery, close to it anyway. We see the creation during this period of Reconstruction of the Ku Klux Klan, and then eventually we see barriers to voting like poll taxes, literacy tests, and eventually the Jim Crow laws, which the Supreme Court declares constitutional. So it really makes the end of the Civil War bittersweet. Yeah, it's great that slavery's over, but did we really accomplish what we set out to do? And the answer, I think, is no. And a lot of Black Americans feel that today, and some white Americans have trouble understanding that, and I see that, but you have to realize these people were in a tough situation and left, the promise of the Civil War and freedom was never fulfilled. On to what we're going to be talking about now and in the future. We're going to be dealing a little bit with World War I, especially something called Wilson's 14 points. And the two videos that I'm asking you to watch today are about World War I and the 14 points. The 14 points were an incredibly forward-thinking plan to create peace in our world for the future. Wilson was way ahead of his time. He envisioned the European Union. He envisioned the United Nations. He envisioned the idea of free trade agreements decades before any of that would happen. Unfortunately, Wilson's plan never came to fruition, and thus we get World War II, the Cold War, continued problems. But as a lot of Wilson's ideas were implemented over the decades, we've seen a lack of war in Europe. There has not been a World War III. There's not been a war between Germany, France, England, the rest of Europe. Last thing I want to address is how the class is going to take shape. We're going to kind of meld back into where we were, which is Monday and Tuesday. I'll probably have some lectures posted. Thursday, or that would be Tuesday, Wednesday for you guys. Thursday, Friday, there will be a primary document evaluation, and that's kind of what we're going to fall into. I'm hoping that we get back to school so that we can complete our kind of final project. I know a lot of you are seniors, and that'll be here before you know it. But hopefully we can make that happen. If you have any questions or any issues, don't hesitate to email me. I'll be sitting here in my pajamas still, chilling out. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. I hope everybody's safe. Hope your families are doing well, too. Okay.